Okay, that's not working. Cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing makeup inspired by this houndstooth scarf I made. Okay, and okay, yep, restream is going to be like that today. Cool. I also made it in white and rainbow to make a snood that looks like a little scarf hood number. And I am doing that. Yep. I don't know. Sorry, these technical issues are throwing me off my game, which is usually very, very good. So just pretend like I'm with it and all here. Yeah. Uh, I had a false start apparently at the beginning of this, and that was weird. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to recreate that houndstooth pattern in my makeup. This is something that I don't usually like to do, like precise patterns, things like that aren't really my forte, just kind of given the precision needed and the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, the precision and also the just the time that it takes and all of that. I've got shaky hands, things like that just aren't really, they don't really go well. Hi, Rachel, with this type of look. However, I'm going to go for it and we're just going to see how it goes. I'm going to start by priming my face. Now, the look is going to be on my eyes. However, once I am done with that, I'm going to do the rest of my face. So I'm going to go ahead and prime everything. Now, I haven't done one of these tape looks in this trend. I think I've done like tape like off sections of the look before. That's not something that's new to me. I just haven't done it in a long time. So this will be fun to try out. And I do feel like it does make a really generally accessible way to do makeup, because you can do a lot in this space, but because it's so limited, you it really kind of looks cool more times than not. I find I say that and it's probably gonna look like crap, but you know what? Good thing about makeup, it comes off if we don't like it, right? So I'm just gonna put this primer on. And I've been kind of thinking through the steps of this makeup because I have a couple different ways that I could do it. And I'm going to do it in a classic black and white houndstooth because I just think that that's the most, I just think it's that classic look is so cool looking, and I really like the way it looks. So that, however, being so high contrast means that it's going to be more difficult because we want to make sure that there's no color mixing, meaning that I'm going to go in with different types of products for the black and for the white, so that I get as little mixing as I possibly can. So I'm going to use a cream white and a water-based black. And to me, I think that will be my best option, so that we get not very much mixing. I'm going to go ahead and put primer on my eyes. I thought about whether or not I wanted to block out my brows and do the brows as part of the mask look, but I think that I'm just going to leave them visible and then do like a really dark brow. How is your day going, Rachel? Okay, so now we're going to use some masking tape. You can use any type of tape that you want. If you're going to use something that has a lot more hold, like duct tape or something, because this isn't going to stick on your face for that long, you are going to use something that has more hold. I recommend just like putting it against some like your clothes and like just a couple times so it kind of removes some of that adhesive stick, or like against like the inner part of your arm where you don't have a lot of hair, because you don't want to put that directly over your eyebrows and find out real quick that that's going to take off some hair. So this part right here, it's not exactly where I want it. That's okay. Also, because I have primer on, it's not sticking a whole lot, and that does help with kind of removing some of the adhesive. And I'm going to do the lower part in pieces because this is a very three-dimensional part of your face. So I'm going to do across my nose bridge first. This is a really cute look. You can just go out like this, you know, who needs makeup, right? When you've got masking tape. Damn, those spiders just don't want to be on the wall. Now, if you are putting tape underneath your eye, be really gentle. This is a really, really thin part of your skin, and also it's very delicate. So just make sure that you're going to be really careful in that area. I know, I'm so beautiful. It's hard being this gorgeous, but someone's got to do it, right? I'll try to make it relatively even. Also, another reason I didn't cover my brows is because I'm using water-based makeup for the black, and the water in the makeup would potentially cause my brows to pop, and I didn't want to deal with that, so I just decided to not cover it. So, because I could have gone like up further, I could have just done from like here up, anything like that. This is so cute. It does. My skin looks really good on camera. It's not. I'm not having a great skin day, but it looks really, really good on camera. So I will take that. So there's kind of like a layering process that we have to think about before we go towards this makeup. Now, usually with things like this, I like to draw them out with a pencil so that I can get the shapes right. However, so pencils come in two main formulas. They can be kind of a cream based, so they're more oily, and that's kind of similar to the Clown White. Hi, Lori. I didn't come up with this by any means. Everyone's done it, but I appreciate you all being here for it. So a cream based eyeliner pencil. So most eyeliner pencils are going to be cream based. Well, I guess there's gel as well. So those are really compatible with cream-based makeups like this. And then there's wax-based pencils that are more common in the lip area. And both of those, the water-based makeup isn't going to stick on top of like we want. So if you were to draw the shape out with those, it wouldn't stick really well. So what you could do is draw the shapes of the negative, like of the white, out with a white pencil, and that would help. And I might end up doing that. But with the black, you kind of have to just go with what it wants to do. So I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think about this, but what I picked up a pulled up a picture so I could get a good view of the houndstooth pattern. I tried to. Now, if you did cream all over first, that would definitely be one way that it could be a little bit easier. You just do cream, and then you could take like a Q-tip and some micellar water or something like that and carve out the shape. I just feel like that's going to muddy up the design quite a bit. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the black. Gotta find the brush of my dreams here. Okay. So I'm going to go in and start mixing some water with the black. This is the Mayron Aqua Colors, right? Yeah, Mayron Paradise Aqua Colors. So we're going to start out with a square shape. My hands are shaking already, which is a really good sign. It's better when you have something to rest your hand on, for sure. Okay, so now we have that square, and we're going to kind of start in the middle. And do that little triangle up. We're going to do another triangle on the outside. Now, I thought about making a stencil for this, but I wasn't really happy with any of the things that came to mind. So that's why we're just doing it by hand. Could look really bad, could look really cool. Okay, so this is the basic shape that we're going to follow. And then you are going to, like a square's distance away, you're going to start that shape over again. And it's going to be the same. God, my hands are so shaky right now. And if you're wondering why I have such shaky hands, it's not purely because I'm nervous. Like, first of all, I just have I have generalized anxiety. Like, I'm always nervous. That's my secret. I'm always nervous. But also I have an essential tremor, and that definitely doesn't help. Should have taken my tremor meds. And my bipolar meds don't help with the tremor. So, you know. Now, at this point in the designing process, you can use a Q-tip, you can use a makeup wipe, anything like that to erase anything that you don't like. So the great part about this part in the makeup is there's the undo button is very large. So you can kind of get it to where you like it. a lot easier. And I'm doing the black first rather than the white first because I felt like it was going to be easier to create the contrast I wanted with this, with doing it this way rather than the other way, because it's really, I feel like it's really hard to get your highlights as bright when you do them first. So that's the reasoning behind this. Is it the right way? There's no right way with makeup. Like, that's just the truth. Also, keep in mind that this doesn't have to be perfect because you are making what is usually a two-dimensional pattern. Pai Mei from Kill Bill. I love Kill Bill, but I'm trying to think, who's Pai Mei? Like one of the Crazy 88, like the bald one. I'm trying to think. That really stylized mask. And also, don't close your eyes while it's wet. Now, you can use a gel liner. Something like that would work really well for this. The only problem I foresaw with doing it like that was that if any makeup got on top of it, makeup really does not sit well over liner. That's why gel liner, things like that, tend to be the last thing you do, because adding anything on top of it, because it dries down and it just doesn't sit right. So, okay, Lori. So that's kind of why I was like, I'm gonna use the water-based makeup. There's a ton of different ways you can do this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Shaky ass hands. Maybe a better way to do this would be not have shaky hands, but oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. Is it because he has this wispy brows? And the mustache? No, it's a beard, right? It's like those movies are so good. So I'm just focusing on trying to get the straightest line that I can, which it's me, so it's not going to be that straight. I went straight up on that. Okay, and so went that way, and now we're going to go that way. I haven't filled in any of the squares yet, just in case I do want to change it, because I feel like that's not the most challenging part. And I'm going to focus, because my hands are only going to get more. I know, me too. If you can find where it is, we can definitely do a movie night with that on Discord. That would be awesome. Okay, that one's a little bit high. But yeah, shaky hands only get more shaky, so try to get your detailed work in fast if you do have this problem. Again, there's tricks of like having your hand kind of leaning against something. This one's fucking ugly. I also recommend if you're doing something like this, it's so easy to get trapped in the details of this, but ultimately most of them aren't going to matter. Hey Crystal, welcome in. It's easy to get trapped in the details of stuff like this, so keep moving and then look at it big picture, and then if something does matter, then you can change it. Otherwise, just keep on going. Because more times than not, you're the only one who's going to be bothered by something like that. I got tape on my face, Crystal. This one on my eye is a little chunky, but once we fill it in, I think it's going to look even bigger than everything next to it. So I think I'm going to have to change that, but I'm going to wait to fill it in and see if that's still how I'm feeling about it. Now, if you do come to a situation, which we will because we're going to go for everything behind the mask, if you feel like if you run into the tape, just keep painting your shape over it. Don't let the tape influence what you're doing, because we're trying to fill up a space and look like we have the whole pattern there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in those squares, and then let's see how it's on Prime Video, but it has to be rented or bought. That's so annoying. We'll have to wait till it comes up for free or something. I wonder if it's on like Max or something. Or YouTube. YouTube has a lot of videos on movies on it. So I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and now literally like my whole, like, no matter where I am, like everything I watch on Instagram, TikTok, I don't really go on TikTok that much, Facebook Reels, all of that, it's all K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh, what were you thinking about? I have been really struggling because I want to do something for Halloween, but I have no idea what I want to do. Crystal sent me the trailer for the movie that you were talking about, like The Eyes of My Mother, but I haven't watched it yet. I need to check that out. It looks like it might be too scary for me. I am a huge baby, but I am gonna check out the trailer at the very least, or like read some. Like, it looks scary, but yeah, I think I want to like. Well, both of them on my eyelid go down quite a bit. I don't have a lot of space on my eyelid, so it's actually not surprising. But I think I can clean that up with the cream white because the cream white's not going to go and blend with the black. If I had done all of this in the black cream, when I go in with the white and I try to like make nicer edges and stuff, it's going to it would blend with the black, which is another reason why I decided to go with the water based because this is going to blend a lot less in theory. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Movie is more gory than scary. Okay, yeah, see, I can take that. Yeah, I can take gore. Okay, so with the next row, that would be where the white goes and it starts to create these shapes. So going in with the black, I would be going into kind of the next row after that white row and creating the squares. And I'm stuck to the tape. I'm trying to put those directly below the squares that were above. And I do think that turning your head, not just looking at things straight ahead, because with how your face curves, uh, if you don't keep moving and keep looking at things from different angles, I think that it's going to be hard to see where you should place the next one. But if you just are looking at something kind of directly under where you place the last one, I think that helps a lot. Yeah, like I said, if it's gore, like I really think that I can usually handle that, because again, it's just like I just look at it like makeup, and I'm like, okay, just like watch the makeup. Okay, so now I'm gonna fill in all the shapes. Yeah, if you want to watch it with us, that would be fun. I forgot where you said it was streaming, or if you said it was streaming somewhere. No, if you do happen to paint on the tape, make sure you let whatever's on the tape dry, because it's easy before you remove it, so that it doesn't transfer and get everywhere. Prime and YouTube. Cool. I can do either of those. Okay, the black is done. I feel like some of the like little legs need to be a little more pronounced. Like some of them are a little cleaner, like over here. Of course. Well, did you doubt that? Okay. So I really want to make sure that these are dry. So I'm going to take a tiny little bit of translucent powder, because again, I really want to set myself up for as little transfer as possible. Now you could put black eyeshadow on this, but again, you run the risk of kind of like muddying the what word I'm looking for. Just a teeny bit of powder. Make sure you don't have anything that's wet. It's like ODP. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to say, Crystal. I don't know why my voice did that, but maybe they're nervous. I hate the smell of this stuff. It's not my usual powder. I only use it when I need powder, but I don't want the stuff that I actually like. Because I bought it, so I gotta use it. Okay, now I'm gonna go in and go with my clown white. and I'm just going to start filling in the blanks of everything with this. I'm taking this like short and flat, downloaded an app, change the key bindings. Oh no. Now I'm going to go over my eyebrows if they are showing in this like taped part. I look crazy. Crystal be typing like me. Just a mess. Shaky hands. So now I'm going to focus on getting my eyelid fairly even because I'm going to powder it. I don't want to powder in any like significant unevenness. And we can clean up a lot with eyeliners and eyeshadows and things like that. But as for like the general shape, it's nice to get it in this form. But because I have eyelids that are prone to creasing, I want to make sure I powder this kind of as soon as I can. Don't really like what happened there, but it's okay. We can fix that one. Now I'm going to go in with that same color. Just kind of gently pat, 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 pat. Nope. Okay, and I'm going to go under my eye. Well, caught my phone by the skin of my teeth. Okay, and time for more powder. Just a little bit, but enough to erase the stickiness. And then we'll just keep on going. So we're starting to get the shape, and I'm gonna have to go in and redefine some of the black spots, but I do think that overall it looks pretty cool. I don't know if it looks like Houndstooth. I'm gonna do a more defined eye and eyebrows because I think that that'll look really nice. But overall, I think it's pretty decent for someone who's not great with precision and like patterns and stuff. Pretty happy with myself. I do say so myself. More powder. And yes, I know I'm looking very, very good right now, so please hold your applause. I love this car alarm background. Of course, as soon as I acknowledge it, it goes away. But, I guess I'm glad I acknowledged it. And how far you go into your hairline is totally up to you, because I'm assuming that you're all going to do this particular makeup. But I don't like when people stop like before their hairline. It's like at least commit to going like, to the edge, if not a little bit into it. But you know, it's your life. Okay, so I'm trying to blend that out a little bit. Now, the biggest thing is like the little pieces that hang off, little feet that hang off of it. Those are the hardest to keep when you're doing the outline. Okay, so now that I have the general shape, I'm going to take this tape off. And this is why, like, this masking tape is not even sticky, but on the skin, it's still, it's especially underneath the eyes, it's very, so it feels a lot more sticky. So just be careful with what you put on your face and how you take it off. Also, if you have a bunch of like really tiny hairs, just know what you're getting into. Haha, Captain Houndstooth. Okay, now that we have that, we're gonna go in, clean things up, make them look cute, put like a little black border or something in them. I do think this look would be nicer with like higher brows if I had covered them and then painted them on higher, but I don't really care. The time for that has passed. Thanks, Crystal. So my first step is I'm going to go in with this Ben Nye Super White powder. You can also take white eyeshadow that's matte, or you can even go in with like shimmers. Like you could have done this with shimmery shades. Really, there's no rules. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to go in and pat this on all the spots that are white. It's going to help set them more, but it's also going to crisp up any spots that aren't as vibrant as I would like. And I'm going on really tiny, that same brush, just to really push that in. collective effort. Well, they're your kids. They're going to be smart. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my eyeliner. I'm going to use my gel eyeliner. I'm going to take that brush that I used earlier and make sure I get any excess off, just so this looks as good as it possibly can. So I'm going to take my gel. And see, that darkens it up, but it doesn't, I don't have to go do the whole shape again. Like, it really doesn't need a whole lot of touch up. It just kind of crisps up the edges. This is giving me a very, like, Harlequin. Oh my gosh, this phone is trying to just end it all. It's giving very, like, Jester. It's cool. I like this a lot. And I'm gonna put eyeliner there, but right now it looks cool, regardless. Wish I had like a dotting tool. I feel like that would be really cool to like do the outside of the mask, but I don't have one, so I think I have rhinestone somewhere. Not really sure where. See, like that's so much more intact and noticeable than these little sad babies. Put like a little black there because I felt like it was gonna help things. Oh my gosh, okay. Oop, press the button. So I think that I'm going to, let's do the rest of my face while I'm on camera. That actually went a lot faster than I expected, which is nice. And then I'll do the rest of my face, and then I'll put something around the outside of, oops, didn't mean to press that off. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so light. And then like, look at my neck. Look how that matches my neck. So this foundation is relatively new to me, and I've heard a lot of good things, and I've been kind of wearing the same foundation for a while. Yeah, I know, right? I'm always like one of the lightest, if not the lightest shades, but I can get darker, like quite a bit darker. I just don't go out in the sun because I don't like to, and I wear sunscreen because skin cancer is very common in my family. So I just preferred to stay light and not have that be like a worry for me. So but this foundation is the Lady Gaga House Labs foundation, which, you know, yes, Gaga, gotta support Gaga. But I've heard really good things about it and wanted to try it. And I've been looking for like a lighter weight foundation because the foundation that I use, normally the Milani Conceal and Perfect, is great, but it's definitely like a medium buildable to full coverage foundation. And I just I feel like in the summertime, especially, and like if I'm gonna be out in heat at all, or really just whatever. Like, I've just been looking for something like lighter weight, like less commitment. Yes, sunscreen is very important. And finding sunscreen that you like is obviously like important, and you know, takes a little bit of time, but it's worth the effort. But yeah, it matches my neck and most of the rest of my body. My arms, I mean, I tan really, really easily. So if I go out at all, like even if I put sunscreen on, there's not a whole lot I can do. Okay, so let's put some, I'm gonna put some queens on. I can find what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna bronze up or contour my face a little bit. I heard sunscreen was bad for you too, though. So I mean, there's all different types of sunscreen. Skin cancer is a lot worse for you than any sunscreen. I went to aesthetic school and, have heard kind of every single thing that someone could say to not wear sunscreen, but none of it is as bad as the consequences of too much sun exposure, or even like enough sun exposure to have problems, because you don't need that much. Some people, are just going to be more inclined to it, and or more like genetically predisposed to it. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of ones that have different smells, that are fragrance, that are non-fragrance. There's chemical sunscreens, and then there's mineral sunscreens, and all of these. Like, there's so many different options. I have one by Image Skincare, and it doesn't smell like anything. And I've been using it for years, and I've never had any problem with it. I think just as you're looking for sunscreens or any skincare for yourself, just like read about it. And then if you do have concerns about the ingredients, look at the ingredients, because there's this whole movement of like, if it has chemicals in it, it can't be good. But like everything is composed of chemicals. So I'm not really sure what people are talking about. And then, I think a lot of that is just like scare tactics. And unfortunately, they work really well on people. And it will forever be like a something that bothers me, that people are like, oh, well, it's got chemicals in it, it's gonna be good. I know that's not what you're saying, but like, it's just that's it. It's a touchy point for me. And so I would say look to see what's in it. If you are concerned, like do some research. Do research just based on scientific evidence rather than kind of what people say, like what some blogger says, like, oh, this can't be good for you, it's got this in it. It's like, okay, well, I don't like, what's the incentive for that person to say that's not good for you or that's good for you? Usually there's something going on, in my experience. something going on. But yeah, there's a lot of sunscreens, at least for the smell I can vouch for, because yeah, I don't know any sunscreen off the top of my head that I would be like, that has dangerous ingredients in it. You know, so, but if there's something that you're in particular you're looking at that you're wondering about, do some research on it. And hopefully you find something that is helpful. Sorry, that was like a little bit of a spiel, but you know, Crystal knows that's what. Okay, so I'm going to put some of my powder on. And I'm going to put my normal powder on. But I understand that, like, not wanting to smell like a pool. That's not my fantasy either. And I like, a lot of things are like coconut scented, and I hate the smell of coconut. I really dislike it strongly. So I understand that a whole lot. And there's a lot of options out there at various price points. I don't know where. So I use Image Skincare. I'm about to switch to a different skincare line, but I do like that one. Now theirs is more expensive because they're a professional skincare line, and I've been using theirs since I was in aesthetic school. But let me look at a lot of the things that I like to use, like, or I have used, are going to be professional, meaning that you can get them, but you have to go through an esthetician to get them. I think Image is sold in other places. I would not get it off of Amazon. A lot of those products are expired. Like, my mother-in-law used to get them, and like, she got expired products, so I would not suggest getting it off of there. Let's see. The new line that I'm about to... Oh, I remember. It's on the other... Hey, Lori. So let's see. So I'm about to start Circadia, but I haven't tried anything yet. Thanks. So I can't give you the, but this is like, again, you have to go through like an esthetician, like go get a facial or something, or, even you don't have to go get a facial, but you have to buy it through them, and it's always gonna be more expensive, but they are really high quality products. And I do think there are a lot of good products out there, especially for sunscreen, like sun protection. Like, I would say that by far is the most easily accessible skincare that you can get at the drugstore and get a good quality product. I would say never use any spray sunscreen, not for the face, but even for the body. Like, there's so many like stories about people getting like insane burns on their body from either the sun or from the product itself. So I would say, if you can avoid those, like, they're not more efficient. Like, I know it's like you don't have to get your hands gross. Reapplication is easier. Like, I know there's a lot of things that make it seem like it's going to be advantageous, but really, like, it's not. There's a lot of foundation and like facial creams, things like in them, that you can use instead of having to use something that's strictly SPF. So if you have like a product that you like or you want to try and you see that it has SPF, usually that means something. Now, I think when I was in school, anything over SPF 35 didn't mean anything. Like it's just like a number that they put on there. So like SPF 50 versus SPF 100, like they're not more effective. I think they've raised that to where it's SPF 50 is now like the highest that like actually means what it like does something. So I like if it has like a crazy high SPF and you're just paying for that number, like it doesn't really do anything. So, you know, do with that what you may. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and contour with a pressed powder. And if you didn't catch the beginning, it's because I did a houndstooth pattern for my scarf and snood pattern. The pattern is now available on my crochet and everything channel that I'll be live on later. So that's why I went with this particular makeup today. And yeah. Put a little blush. I'm going to go a little mauve with it. And I'm going to go in with my eyeliner and I'm going to fill in my brows with black, which is something I don't normally do. Typically, this looks very severe, but because of the rest of my makeup, I think that it will look appropriate. And I gotta figure out what kind of border I want with this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'll just start by filling in my eyebrows. But it doesn't protect my face. I do wear True Skin Oil on my face, but I haven't gotten to creams yet. Let me look at True Skin Oil. Do you know what kind you wear? Like, do you wear the vitamin C? Do you wear the tea tree? Do you wear the hyaluronic? Because it looks like they have a bunch of different oils. And then there's just like a facial oil. I'm just going to look up best drugstore face SPF. Okay, so there's the La Roche-Posay, the Eucerin, the Elf Skin. I mean, like literally, there's a lot of options, and I would look at the reviews because maybe people are talking about the smell. They're like, the smell bothers me, things like that. Because you can also look at the ingredients and be like, what particular scent bothers me. Like, I know that if something has rose oil in it, like, it will break me out really bad. And a lot of skincare has been putting that in there to make it smell nicer, but it makes me break out because it's like it's a natural fragrance, so they can be like, fragrance free or whatever, even though it's got that in there. So rose is something that does not bode well on my skin. Or if it has like a cucumber scent or a coconut scent. All of those things are things that I just hate. Okay, so because I have this crazy mask on, the solid black eyebrow does not look that crazy. Yours has no fragrance. Okay. Okay, because when I looked, it looked like all of them were separate. So it looks like, I mean, you definitely got some good, like a good facial oil going on. I would put your sunscreen under that because oil tends to sit on top of this. I mean, sunscreen sits on top of the skin as well. Um, but uh, but things don't go over oils typically very well, even if they're oil based, like most sunscreens. But yeah, I mean, I just Googled best drugstore SPFs, and there were a lot of options. And like a lot of makeup is using it as well right now. So if you wanted like a tinted moisturizer with it in there, you could do something like that if you wanted to. I know that I think I recall you saying that you don't really wear makeup, so that's fine. But just as a additional option that, you know, not only do SPFs have it, a lot of skincare steps have it, but also makeup is having it now. But yeah, I just kept the cool. Yeah, yeah, Elf, I think this year just came out with a bunch of different skincare products that have SPF kind of across the board. So that might be something to look at. But that's like I'm really happy that a lot of drugstore has come to a point where it's available for more people. Like I don't feel like skincare should be only like exclusively high dollar items, and you know it makes it less accessible for people, and therefore people just don't have a choice. But I do think that like there's still some things that I don't know how to recommend stuff from the drugstore because I've just not been able to find something that was good, that didn't break me out, and was effective. So um, yeah, and that's great. Yeah, you definitely don't need to put on makeup to take care of your skin. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have bought a black lip liner like multiple times, but I can't ever find it when I need it. I'm just gonna keep the mask like this because now putting my brows on, I feel like it looks a lot better. Ah, drop everything. Where's my pencil sharpener? There it is. I do have the La Roche Posay, however it says, however you say it, but I have their their moisturizer, like the really light moisturizing cream, and I really like it. So, and I know that brand has a really good reputation. So, I think it's a little bit on the more expensive side in the drugstore. But if you wanted to check out their SPF, I'm sure that would be good. I can't imagine. I mean, read the reviews. Okay, yeah, that's fine. forgot to shave before I did this makeup, that I just like looked really closely at my upper lip and I was like, ooh, choices. And I have this lip stain that I forgot I had, but I had to put it in a different spot because it has to stand up because the lid's broken. So it'll leak if it is on its side. Yes, I was a I was a waxer for years actually, and yeah, used to wax everything before I transitioned. Now it's made everything a lot harder to grow back. Plus, I definitely have my dad's like my dad's hair growth pattern, and my dad also was kind of like late in getting his. It took like a long time for my dad's facial hair to grow in, and I definitely noticed that in myself. Pretty much there's a lot of similarities, I'll say. Okay, so this is the lip stain on. So this lip stain's cool. So this is from Sunset Makeup, which I really like this brand. They do a lot of alternative makeup, and they're really affordable for being a small like indie brand. And so this is a lip tint or lip stain. So it looks like this now, but as it wears and stuff like that, it'll look kind of like gray. Um, I mean, I guess it depends on your hair, your pain tolerance, and like the thing is, waxing hurts when it happens and then it goes away. It's like really fast. It's not like um, it's. I mean, there are certain types of wax that can hurt more. Like for me, like I've never been a big fan of soft wax. That's the wax that they put on and then they put a cloth or like muslin strip on it and then they rip it off. For me, that hurts a lot more because that takes off um, uh, the top layer of skin, whereas hard wax, where they just use the hardened wax to come off, and that's what we use at the European Wax Center. That hurts a lot, like so much freaking less. It's crazy. But I mean, some people, you could take off like one hair and it would be very painful for them. Other people, it's not as painful. So it's different for every person, but the pain is very fast, regardless of how much it hurts for you. It doesn't stay hurting. Like that's the thing. If it stays hurting, then that usually means that I don't want to say the waxing didn't go well, but it can be like sensitive afterwards or something like that, but it's not going to be like the same level of pain. So it's doable. I mean, everybody's different. You don't have to go wax if you don't wax, but if you can stand like being tweezed a bunch or like tweezing something a bunch, like I know people who will tweeze their eyebrows before they ever get waxed. For me, tweezing is way worse than getting waxed. But some people are neither. Like everybody's different in how they tolerate pain, how they tolerate hair removal pain. The lip is the most sensitive area on your face, and you have a lot of nerve endings there. So for that, that's most people's most painful part. Eyebrows can be painful too, just because the skin's really thin. But yeah, it just depends on you. I know that that waxing wasn't, it didn't feel great, but it wasn't that bad. And then there's some parts of your body that you can wax, and it's like literally nothing. So everybody's different. If you want to try it, I think that going to a place where that's all they do, and I don't have any ties to the European Wax Center anymore, but that's all they do is waxing, right? And so they do that day in, day out. They use a really good wax that I can vouch for. And they set you up with good aftercare. All of that, I think, makes a better experience. But everybody's different. Going to a place where like they don't really wax and it just happens to be like an additional item on their menu, and things aren't like looking as sanitary. I don't want to call out any place. Oh, pulling on an eyelash. Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Just hearing that makes me want to like curl up. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna do eyeliner on my eyes, wasn't I? I think that would look good. And I'm gonna put black under my leg hair. Well, anything hurts if you tug it and you don't pull it out. The good thing, so a good waxer will put the wax on you and pull that shit out fast, because the longer it takes, if you're tugging on it, like that's never gonna be good. It's like taking like a little bit of like hair like this and just tugging on it relentlessly. That's not gonna hurt. That's not gonna feel good. When I was getting my legs waxed, I liked it. That first strip, kind of like, oh, that's surprising. But after that, it wasn't that bad. And it's like, yeah, pulling on hair, not pulling it out fast, always gonna hurt, no matter what. I could have 100 million black eye pencils and I will lose every single one of them. It's amazing. It's so cool. Okay, I'm just gonna do green. I mean, yeah, I mean, everybody's different. We had to work there, and like you wanted to. Like, thing is, like you were, it made you a better waxer to know what it felt like, so you could empathize with people and be like, like if you didn't do that, like it's so easy to detach and feel like that's, and to forget that there's like a human underneath the skin. I know that underneath the waxing, like I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes you better and more empathetic, and you know what techniques hurt more and hurt less if you got it done. But like also like there's, I mean, there's a lot of really great benefits for people who do it. So it's like, I mean, it's not going to be for everyone, but you know, if you were thinking about trying it, I would say go for it. Like, but if you don't want to, don't. You know. So I think I think this is. I feel like it needs something like glittery. I always feel like I need something glittery, so nothing's new there. I think I'm gonna use this as a highlighter because it's insane as a highlighter. Like, oh my gosh, look how freaking shiny it is. So shiny. In a world of matte, we made everything shiny. Yeah, I do kind of. What would I be the superhero of? What's my superpower? Captain Houndstooth. That's what I said earlier too. The shine really brought it to life. Really really made something special. I love this. This is one of my favorite things of all time. Just so pretty. Ah, then you drop it. You're clumsy. So you can see it coming off. That's where the being the stain. Tried so many times, but it worked, right? You did that. I tried so many times, and oh my gosh, it made me nuts. It made me nuts, and I felt like stupid. I felt so stupid. There's still a lot I can't do that I really want to do, but I'm just gonna have to keep trying on that. about getting a curtain ripped off or something. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like if I can be honest with you, it it feels like that kind of the first time. So I would always say like the first time is definitely the worst. If you keep it up, so as your hair grows back thinner and finer, and it starts, some of it's not going to grow back at all after you get it waxed. That does take, depends on your hair, but people do notice less hair growing back. First try with them, yes. So yeah, it does feel like for a brief second that someone has definitely taken. I'm not going to use the term curtain because that is not my favorite way to refer to any body part I have. But I know what you're talking about. It does feel like someone's taken something from you, and a little bit like your soul's left your body. But that feeling is like less than like 3 seconds. Power. Wild and Houndstooth for promos of Tooth powers or wolf powers. Yes, that can be cool. I like that. Yeah, it definitely it feels very painful the first time. I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't, but like I said, like with us at the European Wax Center, so we're trying to like, they're trying to get waxers to a point where they're waxing someone's like Brazilian in 15 minutes, and while that might seem like it is crazy because it's really fast, it's actually better that it's fast because it gets you through the process faster. You just want to get that shit over with, just get it over with. And then like after the second time you come back, if you come back within like 4 to 6 weeks, it's like half as painful, and then the next time it's half as painful as before, and then it kind of plateaus until like the first strip you're like, ooh, and then like after that just you're fine, pretty much. You're just like, it just happens. So it's like really tough to start, and then it levels out pretty quickly. But like everybody's got different, wants and what they want to do with their body, and I just, for me, like that was a really, as someone who has skin problems, that was a really helpful, like if you're like prone to ingrowns and stuff like that, that can be really, really helpful to make your hair thinner. So anyways, do what makes you happy. So yeah, so okay, so it's almost 5 p.m. here, and then at 7 p.m. I'm gonna go live, so almost 2 hours, and then I'm gonna go live, and we're gonna talk about these bad boys right here. So I hope they match decently enough. And then also the Big Bertha, this one right here. And we'll talk about the little bitty baby one that I did for Scotty. Hopefully I can get Scotty on camera to show him off as he's in his little outfit, because it is very cute. And yeah, so yeah, I'll take a little break, and then hopefully I will see you all in a couple of hours. No, I totally understand. Working there, I heard so many different names for the same thing, and then some names that I'm like, where did we get this? Yeah, no, I've heard everything, but I was just saying that I wasn't gonna call. I wasn't gonna use that as like the official term, because yeah, because you just hear a lot of stuff. But yeah. But if you ever wanted to do it, I mean, a lot of people are surprised because they're like, I can never do that, and then they get through it and they end up being big fans. So yeah. So yeah, I'll see you all in a couple hours if you're there, and hopefully you will be. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.